This time we're going to do it in line with the two flags that I've got there. And we're looking that way. Okay, so nothing behind us, for example this tree, is going to really be in the view. I think it might just touch the tree. Some students, because it touches the tree, they think that they drew a little bit of the tree. That's fine if you want to. Won't upset that. So yeah, first up, I think I'll just make that yellow so you can see it in the dark. Don't say I'm not kind to you. You can say it after I've marked your drawings. Right. So step one is to basically draw a line from here to there. Or actually, let's do it properly because you won't have my flag. So we do a line from the midpoint of here. Oh, hello. The midpoint's not where I thought it was. To the midpoint of here. Okay, so these flags aren't. The flags aren't actually on the midpoint. I can't be bothered moving them at the moment, but well, maybe I should for future generations move the flags. From the intersection of that to the okay, so I've got my line. I'm now going to click on that line and I'm going to extend it out this way with ortho on and extend it out that way with ortho on. Now, as you can see, conveniently, you're very lucky because it doesn't cut through the pipeline. So where do you think a logical place would be to stop the cross-section without going too far either side? It's a little bit hard to tell because we haven't got it in the viewport yet. So we probably need to make a viewport up. Let's go into whatever this says. Okay, if I click on that, I think that's 10 XP. Yes, it is 10 XP. So we're not going to be using 10 XP, so what I'll do is I'll right click on that, I'll go move or copy, create a copy, and go OK. So I'm going to right click on that and go rename, and call that cross section. Is it AA or BB? Yeah, it is as well. Yeah, it is BB. I just saw that at the same time. Okay. So we have cross section BB. A little bit hard to see, so I'll go back in here and I'll change the that to green. Alright, so you can see the green there and the yellow here. So if I go inside here and go Z, enter 1000/50 XP, enter. Oh my goodness, look what it's done. We are very zoomed in. If I go pan, I might get the outlet structure in, but I'm not going to get much more. I'm not going to get the whole of that in. So I think what I'll do is I'll get the whole of the platform in, so I'm going to bring it over here like this. Escape, double click outside. Okay, so we have this line here, which I could do another colour. Alright, so it looks like that's as far as we're going to be able to get. So I'm going to draw a rectangle like that, which will tell me the how far out indeed I can draw in model space. And there's my rectangle, so that's kind of as far as we can go really. Okay, so I'll start with the ground line, and we have 42 coming down around. I'll need to join up some of these lines. Okay, so you can all see what I'm doing on the screen. I'm drawing up some lines which most of you should have done, which is your contour lines between the points, so that I'll be able to take them up and join up to make my cross section. Please don't copy what I'm doing. You need to do your own contours. Okay. so we start at 42 over here. Aim upwards. Now this time we're only going to be doing 42. So I've forgotten one important thing, haven't I? What I forgot to do was to, I'll take back that 42. We are assuming that the platform is 100% flat, like horizontal along there, but it may not be. So let's copy all of this. Over here, and let's do a line going from there to there, another line going from there to there, and let's type the align command, ALIGN. And let's go from that point to that point, and from that point to that point. Third one, no. Right, she's dead flat now. Now I can start doing this thing from 42. Okay, so I'm going to do a line from the 42 mark, like I promised. Up 42. Line from here. Notice that I'll put intersection on. .2. There's no distortion at all. .42.4, 42.6, 42.8. 43, 43.2, 43.6, here at 43.6. 3.8. Something's up here, sorry. Very simple to start this up. 42. Two point six. 2.8.
After you change it to 3.4.
3.4. So, at a scale of 1 to 1, you can see that it's a fairly even but fairly boring ground line.
What you call your like this.
Okay, we've got the ground line, now the pipe lines. What we do is we draw a line up from where the pipe finished. So I'm going to have to take some bits and bobs off here. I'm going to copy the pipeline. the pipeline over here has a good start and finish point.
This was
So I'll copy it from this peg here, peg 1, to peg 1 over here. So we've got the pipeline on there. Here's where you can call help. Okay, so pipeline's been put in place. The issue with that is we've got to put the right level on it. So I'm going to do a line from the bottom of the pipe here, from the invert. Can anyone tell me what the invert's supposed to be for the pipeline? The lady down the end in the front row, she had a 40 something point. $45.6 last number? One. Okay. And is that the invert level, is it, of the pipe? 45.61? Oh, sorry. Yeah. So in order to get that number, what I'm supposed to do is go down to this line here and then go up again. So if I take a line from the centre of here and come down perpendicular to the green line and then go up 45.61,
Yeah.
I'll get the point there. And the grade of the pipe is going to be along 100 and down, all right, 1,000, sorry, and down. It won't be 12 though, will it? It'll be 1.228. Okay. That didn't work because we didn't go down. That's a very. No, we should have doubled that. So from here we go over along 100 and down 1.228. No doubles. Then back up to there. Well, it doesn't look right with the pipe, does it? Ah, yeah, correct. $12.28. And back up to there. Okay, so the pipe is 450, so we offset that by 0.45, and we get the cross-section view there. So the next thing to put on is the concrete pad with that indices. We do a line from that point there. And what's the height of the slat of the concrete pad? 44. 0.4 north. Okay. So we've got the pipe. We did the grade of the pipe, we're going along 100 and down 12. There's the pipe there. It's not that much underground, is it? And at the moment it's going to interfere. Oh, it's not going to be too bad. I'll carry on doing some ground levels. The next one here is 45.2. And this one here is 45.4. And this one here is 45.6. So you can see on that cross section that the pipe is pretty close to the ground line. So it's probably going to need a few more contours just to see if I'm not far off right. And if I go like this, oh dear, I can't find it.
Roger,
Yep.
can't really see that
When we take the video, the green color can't really show. Can you change to yellow or something brighter?
The trouble with the yellow is it doesn't show in monospace.
Try blue.
I can do yellow here. Right, is that a bit better? Okay, so what I did is we made the line is pretty close to horizontal. But I just checked that it was horizontal first. The problem and the reason why this is becoming so prominent is that there's so many of these damn contours. So I then drew up the contours and then joined them up. With the pipe, we had a start point for the pipe over here. We went along 100. We went down 12.25 or something. 28. And then back up to there. And that gave us the bottom of the pipe. So we had to offset that by 450 to give us the top of the pipe.
Oh, no.
No,
445.
someone's deep dreaming of basketball today. Okay, let's go and do the platform. Now with the platform, we take the height of the platform is 44 point something. 44.4.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do from one edge of the platform, which is there, 44.4, over there, and we do a line from that side to match up with the 44.4. And there's our platform there, for better or for worse. Except for this time, we're going along 2 and down 1, and back up there, and that's the line that we're going to follow. We'll do it to the pipe initially. I'll trim it off. I've still got a few more contours to do over here. It seems to have got missed off. So I'll take that. Awful problems with this mouse. It's a real sharp. I think that was the worst one. Edit, copy of base point. I'll use that base point there, and I'll grab those. Enter. Now I'm going to go into the other over here and Control V and bring those contours. That didn't go far enough. I need a common point. Edit, copy of base point. Pig 1. And we'll copy 4 of these. So it's carrying this on. I said I wasn't going to carry it on too much further, but we can carry it on a bit more. This point here is going to go to 41.8. This point here will go to 41.6. This point here will go to 41.4. This point here will go to 41.2. And that will go to 41. Now when we join those up, we get a P-line that goes something like this. And just to answer one of the students from inquiries, this line here comes down, so we're going to trim that back to the main ground line. Now, this one here has to go along 1 and up 1, and back down again. We trim it where it hits the natural ground. And that's the platform. Of course, we've still got the tree. Now, I'm going to show you something on how to put the tree in there that I've not shown you yet. So when we did the tree, for example, this tree here, I've got the width of it, right? When we did it on the long section, we did a line that went along like from there to there, and then we did a line from the midpoint. We copied that over here. We copied it back over there. That kind of gave us the branch of the tree. We offset that by 2 lots of 6 meters. Which is there, so that can't be the branch. We made it all fit into something that was 12 meters altogether. So it went like this. And it stretched as far across as we could towards the
This will make
outer limits of the tree. Okay, so that's the tree that we used on our long section, and just so as we make sure that that is the good height, let's offset that by 12, which is 2 lots of 6, and there we are, it is actually that height. Now, how do we bring this tree back onto our cross section? Well, first of all, we need to come down from the tree itself down to this horizontal line, and then back up whatever the desired tree height is. Back up to where the tree starts from. So this line here we have a level for that tree. Let's go over here and have a look. So there's the tree. It's sitting on this line here. So it's going to be 41.2. Can you see that? You've got 41 up here. 41.2 is that one. You come down here, you go right through it. So it's going to be vertically at 41.2. Then it's going to be how wide? The width is going to be the width of the tree going straight up. And the height is only going to be 6 this time. So it's going to be almost a weird looking tree to fit inside that box. Okay, so let's make it fit inside that box. And this is something I'm showing you that I want you to do. So the first thing we type is block, B-L-O-C-K. And we get a chance to give it a name. Don't call it tree because there's bound to be one in your drawing. So call it something like tree 200. Okay? Tree 200. Enter. Select the object. Select the tree. Enter. Pick a point. Intersect the light. I'm going to pick that point there. And you see there's a picture of the tree up the top there. I'm going to go okay. Now I'm going over here and I'm going to go insert. Under blocks, there's the tree there. I drag it onto the sheet. All done. I think it's the same block as we had. So I'm going to have to do something about that and make it twice the height. So let's go block and B-L-O-C-K, enter. Pick point down there, select object, grab everything, enter, and go OK. What's the name? Okay, tree 300 this time, and go OK. Now I'm going to go insert. There's tree 300. Unfortunately, tree 300 is still coming out. I see why. It's already a block there, so I've got to explode that. Okay, now I'm going to go block, select object, pick points, and go OK. Tree 500 this time, and go OK. Right. Now when we do the 500, it should come out. No. Oh boy, I think there could be a tree already in this damn drawing. So there's the tree that I'm trying to explode. It's now individual. I need to explode it a second time. Explode it a third time. There we are. Block. Pick point. grab it. Select object, grab it. Okay.
Name. 1000.
I think we've probably got to get rid of all these trees in the drawing. Well, at least if you do that, you know what to do. Here's the tree over here. It's broken into the individual lines. I'm now going to go block. I'm not going to call it a tree this time. I'm going to call it a bush. And I'm going to pick the point down the bottom here. And I'm going to go select objects. And I'm going to grab all that. And I'm going to go OK. Now I'm going to go and click on the bush over here. And I'm going to go half in the X direction. Is that right? No, the Y direction. So that should be 0.5. X is horizontal, Y is straight up. And now I'll go and I'll bring it in, and look what has happened to it. Finally, it's come right. It's the most ugliest looking tree in the whole world. But I've proved the point that you can so that tree is the same width as below, but it's only 6 metres high. Whereas that's the tree that I put on my long section. So the secret that I wasn't doing was I wasn't adjusting this Y factor down the bottom to 0.5. And I want you to block your tree in from your long section when you're doing your cross section, not for assignment 1, for assignment 2. Right? So far I've got my platform. I've got my existing ground line. I've got my pipeline. I've got my tree. And notice how high up the tree is because it's in the background. Now the good thing about this all this is that I'm going to move it over there. You don't actually need any of these levels at all. Except for the tree one. A line coming down from up here and a line coming down from up here. The rest of it doesn't need to be demonstrated because it's sort of not exactly the same, but it's the same as with the long section. The datum line is found by offsetting whatever number you want to offset from the bottom, so that's exactly the same, except for no 2 times, just 1 time. And when you're taking your dimensions up to everything, you don't half it, you leave it as it is, 1, right? You only need the ones that I've got there. You only need the intersection with the ground line, the platform where it stops, and also, where the platform comes down to the ground as well. So this one here is also important. And that one there. This one here, not so important. It's just the ground line that's picked up here. So with the cross sections, the good point is that you don't need as many lines, so you don't need as many calculations down the bottom. So they're not worth as much. The long section's worth 11 marks. These are only worth about 3 or 4 marks each. Alright? You can get your cut and fill areas from those 2 points if you need to. And to do that, can you remember how you did that in AutoCAD? You get the area, you draw a line over the top like this. So you do a P line from there to there to there to there to there to there, and you follow the ground line up here to that point, and then back to there. And then when you type list, and you come down the bottom, I'll do that again, list, you end up with an area of 22.842. Now that's that's square metre. Alright? So that's in that particular place, the actual fill is 22.842 square metre. So what we're going to do next week is a little bit of a sneak preview. Is we're going to do lots of little slices like that. With the distance between them, we can work out a volume. Alright? And that's the crux of the second part of the assignment. The other thing you've got to remember about the long section is you need the little triangles with the levels on them. Have a look at the examples in that respect. And I was also going to show you the example that we've got on Moodle. So if we come down here to the Moodle week 4, I've put some student examples here. Okay, can anybody now tell me what's wrong with this drawing? Doesn't look too bad, does it? It's a cross section.
The hatching is wrong for this one.
The what?
Hatching. Hatching.
The heighting.
Hatching.
Hatching. Yes. Yes, that's telling me that it's all rock. Yeah, which is bad. Anything else?
The height is wrong.
The height is
The grade
of the pipe. No, actually, in that one, the pipe does go above the ground.
from ground.
Yeah, so we actually have to put some more fill in. It's something that often happens with pipe work. The arrows are too big. They didn't adjust their dimensions for this one. They kept the old ones for the 1 to 100. Doesn't it look silly when you've got a little thing saying note 1 and the arrow size is almost twice the size, right? It's such an easy mistake to make. They have put the cut and fill volumes there. It's really good. Happy with that. The pipeline, they put a nice solid line. Unfortunately, that's wrong because the cut line was back here, and they're not cutting through the pipe, it's behind, so it should have been dashed, and no centre lines. Also, there should have been an outlet structure there, but they have got the figure 8 thing. I'll show you what that looks like. It means the pipe carries on, and I'll do it on this board over here just because I can. I like ruining a nice looking clean board. Here's your pipe, like that, and if you do a number 8 and you take that one out, it looks like that. Okay? You kind of got to use a couple of drawing techniques to draw it. You can do a beeline if you want, and spline it, or you can do ellipses. What else is wrong with that drawing? Not too much more, except I think the student used the same trees on their long section as they did on the cross section without rescaling them. So that's the thing, if you bring something in from the internet, you've got to kind of rescale it, and you've got to explode it, and then you've got to make another block up and give it another name, and then bring it in with that scale factor. You don't have to cut 1:1 and fill 2:1. You put the numbers above the lengths. So, for example, the fill would be 2 and a 1 over there. Okay? So that's slightly wrong. All in all, and down the bottom, the percentage is wrong because there's no 1 in whatever. They didn't do it the 2 different ways that I taught you. Oh, there's a random hanging around here. I don't know where he or she came from. The 0.00 down the bottom. They're the sort of things you pick up if you leave yourself a little bit of time. When I was in industry, I was in the industry for some 20 odd years doing drawings and that. We used to swap drawings with each other just before they went out the door to the client. So another person would sit in your chair, open up the drawing sort of thing, and have a really good look at it. And it's amazing what your friend will pick up that you never even saw. In fact, it's almost embarrassing. They say in drawing sometimes you can't see the trees or the woods, meaning that you go into the bush and you can't see any bush because you're too busy getting all excited about looking for kiwis or something. So the next example isn't in colour, but it's of a student going a little bit crazy with hatching. And you noticed a little bit of hatching under here. That's kind of all you need. Unfortunately, they weren't listening to Ingrid when they said that it should have been on a 45-degree angle. Right? So it looked, they've done a perfect amount of hatching, but yeah, didn't quite get that fella right. Okay, so here's an example of a student going absolutely ape with their hatchet. Please don't do that. Alright, that's kind of like giving a little child a crayon and telling it to draw all over the place. But they have got the right angle, so you know, every cloud. Also, they've used this batter slope symbol and got all confused with what I drew on the board a couple of weeks ago. That is for assignment 2. So don't do that batter slope symbol. Once again, they've got the right dash line there, that's good, but they've put a centre line in there. They've got, actually, the students gone and got the right arrow sizes and text heights in most places, but their starting from the wrong point over there. And see the little triangle, that is actually a 1 and a 1, and a 1 and a 2 over there. And it's a good example. Here we are on the biggest screen ever for a drawing, and you still can't read it. So I don't know what they were doing there. There's also an example of the existing tree up there. It's just a blob. And anyway, it's a plan view. This is a cross section view. The tree is too big, the one they've drawn. They've drawn it, they've gone cut and paste from the long section. But most other things aren't too bad. There's some good notes on that one as well you might like to have a look at. I don't like things this way round. They have to be that way round, and you don't use the meter symbol. Other way around. Not a bad effort. I mean, I'm criticising things from an industry point of view. So, you know, it is hard to get an A with me, but at the same time, I'm also aware that you are students and you're only just learning engineering, so I've got to be reasonably not so mean with the marking. The student probably got 50% for that, even though there's always things that are wrong. And they did a section in the other direction, and they still had the same crayon in their head and did the same amount of hatching all over the place. So please don't do that. For the people that aren't here today, if you recognise that some of your friends aren't watching this, tell them not to do that much hatching, all right? Because what tends to happen is students don't come to class, they see an example drawing, they copy it exactly, and they go down that path, and yeah, I know, it's not good. Lovely tree though, probably the wrong part of the world. Unitech for one of those, what is that, a palm tree of some sort? Didn't mind it, is it? Looks like a... Is it an olive tree? From Saudi Arabia? I don't know. Up to you if you think that's going to get you in the front door of a job interview in New Zealand. I tend to probably grab a New Zealand tree of some sort. Might help matters a bit better. Okay, time for you to earn your $100 an hour. You know that no one has ever failed my course sitting where you are. Absolutely no pressure. That's in 20 years.
This, I'm going to change one of the trees.
Are you using it for the new one?
What basically did you use to do your calculation? You use a calculation. Oh,
This thing has been concrete. And this is the system.
You take it.
There's different ways to do it.
But I'm not asking you to be able to create it. What are we going to do? I'm not asking like, make it very
Oh, of course. Like this. Or just look down. Just like a fork like this. Like this little square.
or do like
Yeah, because it's down. We're looking down, so we'll just be like this.
This one? 1, 2. Oh. Structures is from 2.
Can you see? You just put on, like you just unlock
Oh, yeah.
and
So, double. And then use the.
How many go? I think you see one, at least 1 meter up high. 45 degrees.
Yeah, there you go. It looks like it. Did you do it inside here? Like a rectangle. Oh, that's good.
I'm gonna go and ask him questions. And hopefully you're done.
You need to send me the video.
yeah, the video. Can I
Yeah.
I can.